Welcome to US Coins Hub, where history meets hidden value. Today, we uncover a rare piece of American heritage, a coin that tells a story, holds mystery, and could be worth far more than its face value. So slow down, listen closely, and step into the timeless world of rare and valuable US coins. Let's dive into today's State Quarter series. Top 1 today, we're diving into a classic and fascinating piece of US coinage, the United States of America Washington Quarter from the year 1969. This coin may appear simple, but for collectors, it carries mystery, rarity, and serious excitement. The Washington Quarter has been a symbol of American currency since it was first introduced in 1932 to honor the 200th birthday of George Washington. By 1969, the design was already deeply familiar to the public. However, this particular year stands out for collectors because it comes from a transitional and challenging era in U.S. coin production. Just a few years earlier, silver had been removed from circulating quarters, and the mint was still adjusting to new materials, production methods, and high demand. And on the front of the 1969 Washington Quarter, you'll see the dignified portrait of George Washington facing left. The details of his hair, facial features, and the sharpness of the lettering are extremely important when evaluating this coin. Many examples from this period were struck quickly, resulting in softer details. Finding one with strong definition and a clean strike is far more difficult than it may seem. The reverse side features the powerful image of a bald eagle with outstretched wings, perched on a bundle of arrows with olive branches below. This design symbolizes strength, readiness, and peace, core values of the United States. Collectors closely examine the feathers on the eagle, the clarity of the arrows, and the overall balance of the design, as weak strikes are common for this year. What truly elevates the 1969 Washington Quarter into collector territory are the rare minting errors and unusual varieties associated with it. During this time, the U.S. Mint was producing massive quantities of coins, and quality control was not always perfect. Some quarters from this year exhibit double die errors, where the date, lettering, or parts of Washington's profile appear doubled due to a misalignment during the die creation process. Other rare examples include off-center strikes, where the design is noticeably shifted, or coins struck on incorrect planchets. There are also quarters showing die cracks, clipped planchets, or unusual surface textures that make them instantly recognizable to experienced collectors. Each error tells a story of how the coin was made and why it escaped the mint, making it unique and highly desirable. Condition is one of the most critical factors when it comes to this coin. While millions of Washington quarters were produced in 1969, most were heavily circulated and show significant wear today. Coins that survived in uncirculated or near-perfect condition are extremely scarce. Original luster, sharp details, and clean surfaces dramatically increase a coin's appeal, especially when combined with a strong error or variety. Collectors listen very carefully when this coin is discussed because it represents the idea that valuable coins don't always come from ancient times or precious metals. Sometimes, modern-era coins with the right characteristics can become true standouts. The 1969 Washington Quarter reminds collectors to examine every detail, because even the smallest difference can separate an ordinary coin from a remarkable one. That this coin is more than just a piece of currency. It reflects a moment in American history, a period of transition in minting, and the excitement of discovery that keeps collectors searching. For those who know what to look for, the 1969 Washington Quarter can be a thrilling find hidden in plain sight. And now for the part that makes collectors lean in even closer. In exceptional condition, especially when rare minting errors or special varieties are present, the 1969 Washington Quarter has been known to reach a value of $87,000. Top 2, we're talking about a coin many people have seen, spent, and forgotten. The United States of America Washington Quarter from the year 1996. While it may seem ordinary at first glance, collectors know that this coin can hold extraordinary potential. By 1996, the Washington Quarter had already been part of American life for decades. The design was familiar, trusted, and widely circulated, which is exactly why this coin often goes unnoticed. But behind its everyday appearance lies a fascinating combination of history, minting challenges, and rare discoveries that have captured the attention of serious coin collectors. The front of the 1996 Washington quarter features the iconic portrait of George Washington, a symbol of leadership and national identity. Collectors carefully study the sharpness of Washington's profile, the clarity of the lettering, and the overall strike quality. During this period, quarters were produced in massive numbers, and many were struck quickly, resulting in weak details. Coins with crisp features and strong definition are far less common than most people realize. That on the reverse side, the coin displays the classic bald eagle design, with its wings spread wide, perched on arrows with olive branches below. This powerful imagery represents strength and peace, values deeply rooted in American history. For collectors, the smallest details matter, from the individual feathers on the eagle to the alignment of the arrows and lettering. Even slight differences can significantly affect a coin's desirability. What makes certain 1996 Washington quarters truly special are the rare minting errors and unusual varieties that surfaced during production. With high-speed minting operations in full force, mistakes sometimes slipped through quality control. Some quarters from this year show doubled lettering or numbers, where parts of the date or inscriptions appear slightly repeated. Others may have off-center strikes, clipped edges, or planchet errors that instantly make them stand out. There are also examples with die cracks or unusual surface textures, each one telling a unique story about how that coin was created. These errors were never intended to leave the mint, which is exactly why collectors prize them so highly today. No two error coins are exactly alike, making each discovery exciting and personal. Condition plays a massive role in determining value. While millions of Washington quarters were minted in 1996, the vast majority entered circulation and were quickly worn down. Coins that remain in pristine, uncirculated condition are surprisingly difficult to find. A quarter with original mint luster, clean surfaces, and sharp details becomes even more valuable when combined with a noticeable mint error. Coin lovers listen very carefully when this coin is discussed because it reinforces an important truth in numismatics. Valuable coins aren't always ancient or made of precious metals. Sometimes, modern coins hiding in plain sight can become incredible collectibles when the right factors come together. That's why experienced collectors continue to inspect their change, roll by roll, always hoping to uncover something extraordinary. The Washington quarter from 1996 is more than just spare change. It represents a moment in modern American minting history and reminds us that surprises can still exist in the most familiar places. For collectors who know what to look for, this coin can be an exciting and rewarding discovery. And now for the moment that truly grabs attention. In exceptional condition, especially when rare minting errors or special varieties are present, the 1996 Washington quarter has been known to reach a value of $83,000. Top 3, we're taking a closer look at a coin that many people have handled without ever realizing its potential. The United States of America Washington quarter from the year 1991. This coin may look familiar, but its story is anything but ordinary. To by 1991, the Washington quarter had already been part of American life for nearly 6 decades. It was widely used, heavily circulated, and often overlooked. Because of that, most people never thought twice about spending it. However, collectors know that some coins from this era were produced during intense minting periods, when speed often mattered more than perfection. That combination created opportunities for rare varieties and fascinating mint errors. That on the front of the coin, the classic portrait of George Washington stands as a symbol of leadership and national strength. Collectors pay close attention to the sharpness of Washington's hair, facial details, and the clarity of the lettering. During high-volume production years like 1991, many quarters were struck with softer details, making sharply struck examples far more difficult to find than expected. The reverse side features the powerful bald eagle design, wings spread wide, perched on arrows with olive branches below. This image represents readiness, peace, and the enduring strength of the nation. For collectors, every detail matters. Weak feather lines, flat arrows, or uneven lettering can signal common strikes, while crisp details and balanced designs can set a coin apart instantly. What truly makes certain 1991 Washington quarters exciting are the rare minting errors and unusual variations that slipped through the minting process. Some coins show doubled lettering or numbers, where parts of the date or inscriptions appear slightly repeated. Others were struck off center, creating dramatic visual misalignments that are impossible to ignore. There are also examples with clipped planchets, die cracks, or unusual metal flaws that make each piece unique. These errors were never meant to leave the mint, which is exactly why collectors prize them so highly today. Each error coin tells a story of how it was created and why it survived, making it a one-of-a-kind piece of modern numismatic history. The more dramatic and well-preserved the error, the more attention it draws from serious collectors. Condition plays an enormous role in determining value. While millions of Washington quarters were minted in 1991, most were quickly worn down through everyday use. Coins that remain in pristine, uncirculated condition are surprisingly scarce. A quarter with full mint luster, clean surfaces, and sharp details becomes even more desirable when paired with a noticeable error or rare variety. Coin lovers listen very carefully when this coin is discussed because it reinforces an important truth in coin collecting. Valuable coins are not always old, rare metals, or ancient relics. Sometimes, modern coins hiding in plain sight can become extraordinary finds when rarity, condition, and error come together perfectly. That's why experienced collectors continue to check rolls, collections, and pocket change with patience and curiosity. The Washington quarter from 1991 represents more than just spare change. It reflects a moment in modern American minting history and reminds us that incredible discoveries can still happen today. For those who know what to look for, this coin can be an exciting reminder that treasure doesn't always glitter at first glance. And now for the moment that truly captures attention. In exceptional condition, especially when rare minting errors or standout varieties are present, the 1991 Washington quarter has been known to reach a value of $80,000. Top 4 today's spotlight is on a coin that many people have used without a second thought, the United States of America Washington quarter from the year 1985. While it may seem like a common piece of pocket change, collectors know that this coin can sometimes be far more special than it appears. By 1985, the Washington quarter had been circulating for over 50 years and was a familiar part of daily life in the United States. Because it was so common, most people never imagined it could be collectible. However, this was a period when the U.S. Mint was producing massive quantities of coins to meet demand, and during these high-speed production runs, mistakes were more likely to happen. Those mistakes are exactly what makes certain 1985 quarters stand out today. On the front of the coin, you'll see the iconic portrait of George Washington, a timeless symbol of leadership in American history. Collectors closely examine the sharpness of Washington's hair, facial features, and the clarity of the date and lettering. Many quarters from this year were struck quickly, resulting in weak details. Finding one with strong definition and a clean strike is far less common than people realize. The reverse side features the classic bald eagle design, wings spread wide, perched on arrows with olive branches below. This powerful image represents strength, peace, and readiness. Collectors carefully study the eagle's feathers, the arrows, and the overall balance of the design. Coins with sharp feather details and strong contrast are especially desirable, as weak strikes are common for this era. What truly elevates certain 1985 Washington quarters into the spotlight are rare minting errors and unusual varieties. Some coins show doubled lettering or numbers, where parts of the date or inscriptions appear slightly repeated due to die misalignment. Others were struck off center, creating dramatic and eye-catching errors that immediately grab attention. There are also examples with clipped planchets, die cracks, or unusual surface textures that make each coin unique. These minting errors were never intended to leave the U.S. Mint, which is why collectors value them so highly today. Each error tells a story about how the coin was made and how it escaped into circulation. The more noticeable the error and the better the condition, the more excitement it generates among collectors. Condition is one of the most important factors when determining value. While millions of Washington quarters were minted in 1985, most were heavily circulated and show signs of wear. Coins that survived in uncirculated condition, with original mint luster and minimal marks, are surprisingly rare. When a high-grade coin is paired with a strong error, its appeal increases dramatically. Coin lovers listen very carefully when this coin is discussed because it proves an important point in numismatics. Valuable coins don't always come from ancient times or precious metals. Sometimes, modern coins hiding in plain sight can become remarkable collectibles when rarity, condition, and error come together perfectly. That's why experienced collectors continue to search rolls, jars, and old collections with patience and curiosity. The Washington quarter from 1985 is more than just spare change. It represents a fascinating moment in modern American minting history and reminds us that treasures can still be found where we least expect them. For those who know what to look for, this coin can be an exciting discovery. And now for the moment that truly captures attention. In exceptional condition, especially when rare minting errors or standout varieties are present, the 1985 Washington quarter has been known to reach a value of $78,000. Top 5, we're taking a deep look at a fascinating piece of American coinage that often goes unnoticed: the United States of America Washington quarter from the year 1972. At first glance, it may seem like nothing more than everyday change, but collectors know this coin can carry remarkable potential. By 1972, the Washington quarter had already gone through major changes in its composition and production. Silver was no longer part of circulating quarters, and the U.S. Mint was producing coins at extremely high speeds to meet the demands of a growing economy. This era of mass production created conditions where imperfections and rare varieties could slip through, making certain coins from this year especially interesting to collectors today. The front of the coin features the familiar portrait of George Washington, a symbol of leadership and national pride. Collectors carefully examine Washington's profile, paying close attention to the sharpness of the hair, facial details, and lettering. Many quarters from this period were struck with less pressure, leading to softer details. Finding a 1972 quarter with a bold strike and crisp features is far less common than people might expect. On the reverse side, the coin displays the powerful bald eagle design with wings spread wide, clutching arrows with olive branches below. This imagery represents strength, peace, and readiness. For collectors, the smallest details matter. The definition of the eagle's feathers, the clarity of the arrows, and the overall balance of the design all play an important role in determining desirability. What truly makes certain 1972 Washington quarters stand out are the rare minting errors and unusual varieties associated with this year. During high-volume production, mistakes sometimes occurred during the die creation or striking process. Some coins exhibit doubled lettering or numbers, where parts of the date or inscriptions appear slightly repeated. Others were struck off-center, creating dramatic visual errors that immediately draw attention. There are also examples with die cracks, clipped planchets, or surface irregularities that make each coin unique. These errors were never meant to leave the mint, which is exactly why collectors find them so appealing. Each error coin tells a story about the minting process and represents a moment when something unexpected happened, turning an ordinary coin into a collectible treasure. Condition plays a crucial role in determining value. While millions of Washington quarters were minted in 1972, most were heavily circulated and now show clear signs of wear. Coins that survived in uncirculated condition, with original mint luster and sharp details, are surprisingly scarce. When a high-quality example is combined with a noticeable mint error, its desirability increases dramatically. Coin lovers listen very carefully when this coin is discussed because it highlights an important truth in the world of numismatics. Valuable coins are not always ancient, rare metals, or museum pieces. Sometimes, modern-era coins hiding in plain sight can become exceptional finds when the right combination of rarity, condition, and error comes together. This is why experienced collectors continue to search through rolls, jars, and collections with patience and curiosity. The Washington quarter from 1972 is more than just spare change. It reflects a period of transition in American minting history and reminds us that surprises can still be found in the most familiar places. For collectors who know what to look for, this coin represents opportunity and excitement. And now for the moment that truly captures attention. In exceptional condition, especially when rare minting errors or standout varieties are present, the 1972 Washington quarter has been known to reach a value of $75,000. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss another fascinating coin story. Keep checking your change, keep learning, And most importantly, keep enjoying the incredible world of coin collecting.